terms of delivering a baby and it looked like you tried to hide it, we do have to have the police involved.
And nothing was crying. It came out with nothing.
I know. But the baby's gonna have to be taken for autopsy and there'll be an investigator and everything.
Alexee Trevizo, the New Mexico teen accused of murdering her newborn baby in a hospital restroom, is back in court asking for changes to conditions of her release.
I would ask that restriction of being able to have contact and with her boyfriend be removed.
Thanks for joining us here on Law and Crime. I'm Angenette Levy. Alexee Trevizo maintains she did not murder her baby. Last January, she went to the hospital complaining of back pain. Her attorney had said that she was at cheerleading practice beforehand and didn't know she was pregnant. Trevizo's reaction to police finding out she had given birth was captured by police body cameras.
In terms of delivering a baby and it looked like you tried to hide it, we do have to have the police involved.
And nothing was crying. It came out with nothing.
I know. But the baby's gonna have to be taken for autopsy and there'll be an investigator and everything. I'm really sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, but we need to do this correctly. And I want to be transparent with you about what our steps are going to be. Okay. Officer, do you guys need to talk to her before we get her transferred?
How long is it going to be before you have to transfer
I
out?
don't know. Are we working on?
Okay.
Marina,
So-
do you think 20, 30 minutes?
Yeah, hopefully, yes.
Okay.
I got detectives on the way, so
Okay.
they're going to be talking to her.
Okay.
Do you guys have, I'm the charge nurse here, do you guys have any questions for me?
Like, how big is the baby?
It's full term.
What?
Nothing,
9 months?
nothing was crying.
Lexi, have you watched the news of the girls that what they do to their babies and what they go to jail?
Nothing was crying.
Now Trevizo's lawyer does not want a jury to see that video. Trevizo could be seen in the background of a hearing conducted via Zoom as her attorney spoke. This is one of the first times the public has seen her in many months. Trevizo's attorney, Gary Mitchell, believes some of what Trevizo said in the hospital is privileged, since she was under the care of a doctor, and he suggests she had not been read her Miranda rights when police were present during some of the exchange because she couldn't leave.
Until police got there. They called 911, the police were there. We're not talking about a lengthy period of time here. We're talking about within minutes, really quick. And the police were there. The sergeant comes, the officer comes, and then then they talk to the doctor. They go in the room, and in the room at the time is my client, her mother, the doctor, and the 2 police officers are standing, and she can't leave. And that's in their reports that by that time, they've got this information. They have a baby that's deceased. They have a doctor, they have the baby, and they have information, and they're going in to talk to the mother. But my position is the doctor-patient privilege still applies because we do this all the time in hospitals. We have spouses present. We have family members present because they brought them in. And a lot of times the people aren't in their right mind to make decisions anyway and need a family advisor.
But the state disagrees. The prosecutor says Trevizo's mother was with her, so there's no privilege.
She came with her mother. She allowed her mother to be present. The court would be familiar that a patient has a right to not have other people in their room. They ask if it's okay if that person stays. That's normal treatment. The state would submit. So, Your Honor, we believe there are 3 different things going on here. And for defense to lump it all in and say it's all privilege before the court, we would disagree. And so we don't believe there is a privilege.
The judge asked for more information from the defense and the prosecution before making a decision on the motion to suppress those statements.
There may be some distinct acts or events that occurred that are privileged or may be privileged. I'm seeing other. I can't lump this into one event, a long-running event. I think we've got, for example, I'm thinking that the whatever happened in the hallway, which I think is just a video of her going from, I guess, a treatment area down the hallway into the bathroom, right? That's a public area. I can't see that that video would in itself be a privileged video. I've got other questions about other parts. I do think it's a good idea that you submit findings of fact.
The next request from Trevizo's attorney has to do with the conditions of her bail. She's only been allowed to talk to her boyfriend, the father of the baby, by phone and social media since her arrest. In barring face-to-face meetings, another judge cited a domestic violence statute in not allowing the contact. But Trevizo would like to be able to go to classes at college without fearing running into him and then violating the terms of her release.
This is not a domestic violence situation between the two of them whatsoever.
Mhm.
And that statute shouldn't apply. What should apply is that we can't, I mean, she hasn't been convicted of anything. She's not on probation. And as long as they don't discuss the case, they should be able to see one another. They both attend the same university.
Okay.
It's the second largest university in the state, but they both attend the
You mute.
Yeah, my client is trying to stay at home, and take classes from the university. So we tried to avoid that problem this semester because I didn't have an order and hadn't had this heard before then. But I'm asking that the court take a look at the motion and the state's response, because one, I don't believe we can order that in that fashion. Because of the cases I cited to the court, including Johnson and some other cases. And two, she has not violated that whatsoever. The judge allowed them to communicate via telephone and or, gosh, there's so many different media ways to communicate, but they couldn't be in person. And she's honored that. She doesn't go out at all. Other than to come to my office. The court allowed her to go see her grandparents.
The prosecution didn't object to a change in the conditions of her release, but didn't exactly endorse lifting the restriction altogether.
Once probable cause is found, and probable cause has been found, this court can set restrictions to ensure that there is no conduct that could lead to a further crime involved in this case. And that is why Judge Finger made that restriction. The court can fashion conditions of release that allows her to attend a university that this same individual could attend. Maybe they're in the same class, maybe they're in the same lab, the same bookstore, the same restaurant, but it's no different. There's no reason for her to have a relationship with this person based on what the facts of this case are at this time.
In the end, the judge ruled in favor of Trevizo.
But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to modify the conditions of release. I'll allow her to go. It's New Mexico State in Las Cruces, right?
That's correct, Your Honor, it is.
Big university, huge. I don't know what the student count is, but I'm sure it's several thousand. Las Cruces is a sizable city. I personally, counsel, I'm really trying to get in my mind how you can invoke a domestic violence prohibition against personal contact. First off, nobody's invoked the DV statute. There's been no allegation of domestic violence. I don't think that translates into this. I really don't. My gut reaction is that does not translate.
There was also a lot of discussion about a potential trial date for Alexee Trevizo. The judge said a large number of prospective jurors would be brought in for voir dire. That's questioning by attorneys for the prosecution and the defense. Jurors will also receive a questionnaire to fill out before voir dire. Alexee Trevizo's trial is currently set, according to the clerk of courts, for August of next year. But that, of course, could change. It's believed the trial could last as long as 6 weeks. 2 of those weeks would be taken up by jury selection, according to her lawyer. For Law and Crime, I'm Angenette Levy.